Hello. Welcome to one more Fluent for Real Live. To those of you who don't know me, my name is Renata, and I'm an English teacher. I have been one for the past 20 years. Don't do much math. Otherwise, you're going to figure out my age. But I've never lived abroad, and I'm here to help you elevate your English to the level of your competence. I help professionals reach the English that opens any doors, that helps them develop their career, and to reach that real fluency that opens any doors. Welcome aboard. Today is our second weekly live stream. This background is getting on my nerves. What's happening here is StreamYard. It's eating up my hair and my head, but I'll figure it out, okay, as we go. And this is the second live that I'm doing after a long period without these weekly live lessons. So if you're wondering, yes, they're going to be happening now every single week. I will be bringing a different topic here. Last week, we saw a grammar topic, present perfect. Don't miss out on that class. That class was super useful if you are one of those people that just can't use present perfect because it's hard to understand why, when, you need to just give it up. And today we are having a full speaking pronunciation class. Just like with anything in my method, I want you to use your voice because that's how we learn how to speak, how we develop our English, how we take the English from the basic, okay, to the real fluency, upper, intermediate, advanced, fluent English at work. In meetings, in presentations, in calls, in face-to-face interactions, in events, and all that. So welcome. Let's get started. I brought to you guys today a class material straight from my course, the Fluent for Real program, one of my courses. And this is a pronunciation lab class. Every week I host a live class with my students in the program, and they have access to this material and, of course, interaction with me live. And I decided to bring this class over to you guys here to help you improve a sensitive topic that most Brazilians don't know how to pronounce, mess up, make a mistake, and it's even a typical Brazilian mistake. Let's put it like that. And we are here to reflect our competence through our English, isn't it? To really convey what you are as a professional, all your baggage, your experience, everything that you have accomplished, learned and built throughout your years. And that's what we're here to do. We have to make it show in your English too. We don't want nós vai for pronunciation, nós vai for English. We want your English to be refined and your pronunciation to be refined. So let's get started. I'm going to share with you all the material of today's class on the screen. So as you can see, this is one of the classes from my program, and it is the pronunciation of the final ED in English. All right, so I want you to stop making this mistake, but learn at the same time how to do it in an easy way, in a quick way, using your voice with me. So right now it's 12 o'clock where I am. If it's 8, 7, 6, wherever you are watching this, if you are not watching the live version, if you are watching the recorded version of this class, no matter what time, use your voice. Learning requires practice, and practice is not just conversation. Practice is conversation and previous layers of practice. It's just like a sport. You have to learn how to lift weight, right? You lift weight to gain muscles, individualized, so that you can get to your sport, to get to your preferred, let's say, style of practice, and you're strong, overall strong, fast, flexible, and etc. So let's get to the chase here. Well, it's a very common mistake, all right, that most Brazilians make. I got to tell you that this is something that I am constantly working with all of my groups and all of my students because it's super, super common. And we have 3 groups. Okay, I'm going to teach you something now that is super important and I want your attention, all right? I want you to place your hand right here on your throat to see and understand how these three groups work. So we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. In group number 1, we have words where the ED is pronounced as a T. Can you see well? Let me make it even a little bigger. Group where ED is pronounced as T. Number 2, ED is pronounced as D. And number 3, ED is pronounced as id. But Renata, how am I supposed to know this? How am I supposed to figure this out? Let me show you. Place your hand here and say the word play. And exaggerate the last sound. Play. Play. Okay, hold on. Now you're going to say the word wash. Wash. Can you see the difference between the last sound of those words? Can you see that when you say wash, nothing vibrates? When you say play, a lot vibrates, right? Oh my God, this is getting on my nerves, you guys. Let me change here. 1 sec, closing this to make you guys see me better, because 1 sec. Okay, let's see if we can change this background here to something better, all right? Let me just make sure that we are. Then I can. It's eating my hair and everything else. StreamYard is failing on me here. Let me just go here and change for the video. Okay, background. Okay, this is better. Alrighty, there we go. At least you can see my hair now. Great, so you're going to place your hand here and you're going to say play. Vibration, right? Wash. No vibration. Travel. Vibration. And put your hand, okay? Don't just listen to me. Put your hand, use your voice. This is going to create a lot of connections here in your brain. Now say work. No vibration. Stop. No vibration. Accomplish. No vibration. Realize. Vibration. These are the first two groups, all right? We are going to split those verbs into two, vibration and no vibration. Now, see how logical it is. If there's no vibration, what are you going to do? You are going to include just a T. Remember how we had the group number 1? Just a T. You're going to say shopped, worked, not worked, shopped, stopped. He worked out the problem. Worked. Put the emphasis on the first syllable. Worked. Worked. He worked out the problem. Worked out. Can you see? Can you hear the T? Worked out. Not work it out. Work it out. He washed the sock. He washed the sock. Washed. Not washed. He washed the sock. He washed the sock. He washed the sock. He washed the sock. Washed. He shopped for groceries. He shopped for groceries. He shopped. He shopped. Can you see? Can you see that there is no vibration? So what is easier to do? To go from p to t. From k to t. No vibration, and the T doesn't have a vibration either. No vibration, T. Worked, washed, stopped, shopped. And you're not going to say the E. The E is inexistent. Not worked, shopped, stopped, stopped, worked, shopped. Okay, repeat after me. Stopped, worked, shopped, washed, accomplished. That's the first group. Now, the second group, as we had mentioned before, is the group where ED is pronounced as D. What is that group? That is the group of the vibration. When I say play, I am going to include a D at the end. But Renata, ed? No, just the D. Like play, played. Not played. Travel, vibration, right? Travel. Then you're going to go traveled. Stop at the D, but don't invent a vowel in the middle. The E is still silent. No E. We're not going to say traveled, played, or loved, called. We are going to say called, traveled, learned, phoned. Use your voice with me. One more time, you will emphasize the first syllable, okay? So you don't run the risk of saying, I called, I phoned, I learned, I learned, I called, I traveled, I lived. But Renata, you know what? I think I am scared of not pronouncing the final ED and then not being understood by my audience, because for some reason they can think that I said something in the present. Look, don't be afraid of that. Don't be scared of that. Why not? Because think about it. In Portuguese, there are two reasons, okay, not to be scared. In Portuguese, when we say, no, nós viajamos para essa praia. You don't know if it's every year or if it's in the past. Nós viajamos para essa praia todo ano. Nós viajamos. Nós projetamos essa planta. Projetamos. Passado, projetamos every year or every 5 years. Or so even in Portuguese, we have a verb or some verbs that are the same in the present and in the past. And people understand us because the context will tell us if there is any question, right? If you are insecure, but not just the context. The correct pronunciation will do that job as well. And number 3, we also have a very important tip, which is in the present, I work. Okay, but the third person is he works. So there is no confusion. If I am talking about the present, there is a big S many times. So, if I say worked, I have to say worked because they have to understand I'm talking about the past. No, he worked. He works. He works at. He worked at. He works at. He worked at. The sounds are very different. When the pronunciation is correct, there is no miscommunication. Don't worry about it. You don't have to exaggerate that sound to be understood. Understood? Alrighty. So moving on then. Those are the two groups, as I mentioned, the one with the vibration and the one without the vibration. Or I did the opposite, right? The one without the vibration first, you pronounce T. Worked, shopped, talked, washed, accomplished. And group number 2, vibration. Realized, traveled, phoned, loved, learned. Okay, but then we have a third group. And this third group is the black sheep of the groups, because it will ask us to include the vowel. This time we have to. We have to say id at the end. Id. For example, and I'm going to skip straight to the third group here. The third group is he has counted the money. Counted. Count. counted. But then why? Why do I have to include the syllable in some and I don't include the syllable in others? Because think about it. The last letter of the word count is T. So how can I say count? The last letter of need is D. How can I say need? Then I have to add a vowel and say needed, counted, because then now I need to demonstrate the past. So this you really emphasize. Pronounce, add, include. Don't be afraid. What I see very often is the opposite, is people saying, students saying, for example, I recognize it, and then saying, I need it. I recognize it, I need it. No, it's the opposite. You're going to say, I needed, I recognized, So we have to know when to pronounce the sound and when not to, when to, right, skip that vowel. So the third sound then is the id, needed. Repeat after me. Use your voice with me. Counted, needed, visited, or visited, attended, needed again. Sorry, it's repeated. So let's go here to the first group again. Work on those. Worked, shopped, talked, washed. Second one, recognized, simplified, loved, learned, traveled. Third group, included, counted, needed, visited, or visited, attended, needed again. These three groups then are everything when it comes to regular verbs in English, adjectives in English. Think about it. Interested, stressed. What else? Oh, there are so many that come from verbs, right? We also have verbs in the past, regular, past participle regulars. I've attended, I've accomplished, I've realized, I should have addressed, I should have, right? So all of these verbs that are important for our communication at work and are regular, they have to be well pronounced. They need to be elevated. They need to come out without that strong mistake of the ed at the end, worked, accomplished, right? It's not about having an accent. Having an accent is fine, no problem at all. It's really about clear communication and speaking as universally as possible to be understood by Americans, Germans, French people, Japanese, Chinese, because I know that your interactions are not necessarily only with native speakers. And it's not about impressing the native speakers. It's about being the professional that you are in English and in Portuguese. It's about conveying, transmitting, showing your competence when you're communicating in English, not just in Portuguese. And I know that you want to be seen. I know that you want to enter a meeting and an interaction and feel the respect and feel the confidence and feel heard when you are in those interactions. Moving forward here then, we have groups 1, 2, and 3. Let's practice a bit more. Groups 1, after unvoiced consonants, no vibration, worked, shopped. Use your voice. If you're not using your voice, you're not learning. I'm sorry to tell you that, okay? In my method, my students are always using their voices, and that's why they have the transformations that they have, the results that they have. Listening is not going to take you anywhere if you need to speak. Listening will take you to great listening skills and maybe some vocabulary too. But listening is not going to make you Get the confidence you need for your interactions at work. Let's go. Past, left, washed, watched, watched. Group 2, voiced consonants and vowels. Called, loved, learned, claimed, cared, played, tried. Group 3, counted, needed, visited, decided, wanted. If you want this class material, very important message to those of you watching, like, Renata, I would love to have that material to keep studying. Can I have that material to keep studying? You can, if and only if you join our community. I will send the material to those who are in our Comunidade Fluent for Real on WhatsApp. It's for reminders, it's for links to class, it's for exclusive material. So join, be there. The link is in the description of this video. I think I this time I forgot to add it. I will add it later, okay? In case it's not there, I'm gonna double check. But it's there. You can also go to my Instagram stories and you can comment Comunidade or comment AULA FFR, and you're gonna receive all the links and the access to this community. So I will be sending this material there. Great. So very important. Look, we are practicing here the words in this live stream. In class with my students, what do? We practice sentences, we practice paragraphs, we read out loud, we correct, we record ourselves. So there are a lot of steps that are necessary. So I'm going to review those with you. It's important to listen to how native speakers pronounce the English words ending in ed. It's important to repeat the words from each group, focusing on the correct ending sound, and record yourself, compare yourself with native pronunciation, with my pronunciation, with your own pronunciation. Listen to yourself and correct yourself. Without that self-awareness, I can tell you it's wrong. You know, another teacher can tell you it's wrong, but you have to recognize that you need to improve that sound for your goals. Your goal is to speak English fluently and take your English to the level of your competence. This sound, trust me, this sound needs to be corrected if you want to reach that goal. And it's not something that takes a long time. It takes a little bit of practice, and I'm here to help you with that, okay? So, does the last sound vibrate? This is a visual diagram to help you visualize and find how the word is supposed to be pronounced. Let's try. Let's do a little quiz here. Great. So, the diagram basically says, does the last sound vibrate? Yes or no? Let's say the verb is work, work, work. Does the last sound vibrate? No, it doesn't. So we're going to go to the right. Last letter T, work, work. No, the last letter is K. Great, so it's a no. Go down to the red square. Ignore the E, include the T. Worked, worked, worked. Let's try another one. Go back up. Does the last sound vibrate in the verb need? Need. Yeah, need. It does. Is the last letter D? Yes, the last letter is D. Need. So we have to pronounce E and D. Needed. 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 Let's go one more. Go up. Does the last sound vibrate in the verb accomplish? Accomplish. Shh. Shh. Oh, actually, no, sorry. I want another one. Scratch that. Does the last sound vibrate in the verb travel? Travel. Travel. Yes, it does. Is the last letter D? Travel. No. So we're going to include the E. Oh, sorry. Ignore the E. Include the D. Traveled. 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 And the last one, just to test out the 4 options. We have the verb count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count. Count. Does the last sound vibrate? Count. No, it doesn't. Is the last letter T? Count. Ah, yes, it is. Okay, so you're going to pronounce E plus D. Counted. 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 So with this diagram, you will be able to figure out and study and, and learn any verb that you want to test and see if you got the idea. But if you put your hand here, remember, key, vibration, just the D, no vibration, just the T. But if it's T or D, include the id at the end. That's pretty much what you have to know. And practice. Let's practice a little bit here. I want us to work on these sentences here, okay? Like a couple here. He worked out the problem. Repeat. He worked out the problem. He washed the sock. He washed the sock. He shopped for groceries. He shopped for groceries. Reading out loud in a sentence is more difficult than reading just the word. So you have to make that step and that second layer of practice if you want to improve your pronunciation. Now let's see the examples there on the corner. Example sentences. They traveled alone. They traveled alone. They called this number. Not they call it this number. They called this number. Great, great job. The process was simplified. The process was simplified. And thirdly, he's counted on the corner there. Okay, example sentences. He's counted the money. He's counted the money. Their help was not needed. Our partners attended the meeting. Yes, attended the meeting. Everything is pronounced. Our partners attended the meeting. Our partners attended the meeting. So keep practicing sentences out loud, words out loud. Record yourself. Grab your phone. Create a WhatsApp group with yourself. Record and listen to yourself. Renata, I don't like listening to myself. I feel embarrassed of myself speaking English. Come on, how old are you? It's time to stop feeling embarrassed of yourself speaking a language. You should be proud of yourself for speaking that language, not ashamed, embarrassed, or feel awkward about it. Congratulations, you speak English. If you understand everything I'm telling you, if you're practicing your pronunciation here, it's because you speak. So be proud of yourself, not embarrassed. Create a WhatsApp group with yourself. Listen to yourself, all right? I forgot to put myself back here. Listen to yourself, and from there, you start recording, you start correcting, record again until it's over and done. How long, Renata? If you do this, if you get 15 verbs to practice, 15 sentences with those verbs, and a text with the simple past, for example, create one using AI. If you do that 10 times, I'm sure that you're going to be ready and you're going to be aware when you speak spontaneously at work, when you have a meeting at work, you will be able to master and it will come out spontaneously. Because this is what I tell my students. Performing well in class is not my objective. I want you to perform well in class, and I want you to take that out of the classroom and into your life. Ask yourself, am I doing well only in class when I am focused, or am I doing well in class and when I'm speaking? Can I take this ability, this skill into my meetings? Am I getting into my meetings and pronouncing the ED correctly? Or when I am at a meeting, I completely forget what I practiced in class? If that gap is happening, you need to practice more. You need to make an effort. You need to practice more words and sentences. In a conversation class, you need to say, today is my day of pronunciation. Today I will focus on how I'm saying the words. I will forget the rest and I will focus on my pronunciation. Because it's a mechanical effort. Mechanical. I know that it's not easy, but it wasn't easy for me either. I improved my own pronunciation with a lot of effort. I used to have a very Brazilian-like pronunciation with a lot of, mistakes, and I was lazy to make this physical effort of pronouncing the sounds the way that they are supposed to be, universally speaking, because of course it's not my language. My language doesn't have those exact sounds. My language has similar sounds, but not the same. So I too made an effort. One day I'm going to share that story with you all here. My students know this. I've already shared that in class with them a couple of times. But still, it was not easy for me either. And I improved my own pronunciation with my own method. So what I'm teaching you is the way that I improved my own pronunciation. So trust me, it can work for you too, all right? Well, last invitation here for all of you guys is about our Black Antecipada Fluent for Real that's taking place in the next few days, okay? The thing is, permission to speak Portuguese here. A gente vai ter no Fluent for Real Program, que é um dos meus cursos, meu curso personalizado, que tem mentoria individual, que é o curso completo com o máximo de personalização possível dentro da minha gama de cursos. E esse curso vai estar com um preço muito especial, uma oferta que eu nunca fiz antes e que não vai se repetir também, tá? E como é uma oferta muito, muito acessível, eu estou fazendo uma oferta dentro de um grupo de WhatsApp para quem está interessado. Tá? Então, isso não vai ser aberto para o YouTube, para o Instagram, isso vai acontecer somente para os interessados dentro do grupo, e não são muitas vagas, tá, gente? Eu devo dizer que a gente está em processo de renovação dos alunos do ano passado e dos alunos ao longo do ano também, ou às vezes uma pessoa que já esteve, foi aluna há mais tempo e quer voltar, e não estão sobrando muitas vagas, os alunos estão renovando, em peso, como é o esperado, mas enfim, fico muito feliz com isso também. Então, não tem muita vaga. Estejam muito atentos, porque a gente vai explicar tudo direitinho lá no grupo. Não adianta só cadastrar por e-mail e tal. Estejam no grupo de WhatsApp. É lá que a gente vai soltar todos os detalhes e o link certinho para a oferta no dia, tá bom? Então, fiquem ligadíssimos, fiquem espertos aí, porque é só uma vez por ano mesmo. Não tem como eu oferecer esse desconto em outros momentos, tá? É realmente uma oportunidade que eu dou para quem às vezes ficou esperando, ficou ali um ano inteiro namorando, pensando, ai meu Deus, vou, não vou, será que eu, é um valor que eu não consigo fazer, é um sacrifício financeiro. Então, assim, é para quem conhece, para quem já sabe, do poder, do resultado do Fluent for Real Program e estava esperando essa oportunidade. Então, assim, não percam. Se você quer chegar ao inglês que abre portas, se você quer chegar à fluência real, para falar inglês com confiança e crescer na carreira, essa é a oportunidade para você, tá bom? Então, esteja na Black Antecipada do Fluent for Real, que eu vou deixar também o link nos comentários, no vídeo, vou deixar até aqui nos comentários também, que eu acho que já fica para todo mundo, agora ou depois. Deixa eu ver isso, tá aqui, ó. Vou deixar aqui nos comentários. E eu acho que fica depois também para quem estiver assistindo a gravação. E espero vocês lá, tá bom? Até semana que vem. Por enquanto, ainda não temos um horário muito fixo para as nossas lives. Semana passada foi na quinta, hoje está sendo na sexta essa semana. Mas em breve a gente vai achar um horário fixo aí para ser toda semana na mesma hora. Por enquanto, eu falei, não, vamos retomar essas lives semanais do jeito que der, no horário que der. Ontem eu precisei atender uma aluna nesse horário, então hoje a gente está aqui meio-dia. Espero que vocês tenham gostado, tá bom? Um beijo e até semana que vem. Bye, bye!